Hey everyone, welcomes to today's tutorials where we are going to learn one of the most important and powerful feature of CSS, positioning. Whether you are building a landing page, creating animations or designing layout, understanding how elements are positioned on the page is a key. So let's dive into the main position value in CSS, static, relative, absolute. So let's break them out with the example and see how they actually behave in the browser. So let's get started. So at here I have added one H1 heading CSS positioning. I am going to add a box. Let me make few copies. By the way, all the divs, paragraph, XYZ, any element by default is static. So let me add relative and absolute. Fixed, and we don't need this one for now. Okay, let me add CSS for this section, and this is the CSS positioning. I just center line and color and it's a font size. That's it. Now, so this is the all the box. So I'm going to add a CSS width 100 px, height px, and border 1 px solid gray, and margin. Okay, so I have added these 4 boxes. Now we have to add a color of each box. So for this I am going to use the IDs. So first one is static, background color. Let me choose unique color. Okay. Relatives, background color, and this one is for absolute. Okay, the last one fixed, background color. That's it. Okay, so I have added these 4 boxes. Now let's start with the positioning. So all these divs, like this divs, this one, by default is static. If I add position static, this means no change. Okay, and if I add, so by default is static. Next we have relative, position relative left px. So next we have a relative position. With relative position, the element still follow the normal flow, but now you can shift it by using top, right, left, bottom. At here I have used left to 50 pixel. We can also add a right or a top or a bottom. So what does that mean? Imagine the element has a starting position relative. Let's you have move it from that starting point without affecting the layout of the other element, and but everything else stay where it was. So now next we have absolute position absolute, and when I add absolute position, see the the orange one is now take the empty space. Now let's okay, after the relative we have absolute. Now let's talk about absolute. This can be get a little tricky, but it's very powerful. An element with position absolute is removed from the normal document flow. That means it does take up space anymore. Other elements act like it's not even there. But here is the twist: if position itself relative to the nearest position ancestor, so if the parent has a position relative, the absolute element will use the parents as its reference point. So let me show you the example. Position absolute left 300 pixel, left 0 and right 0. And now 100. So maybe 300 pixel, and from the top, actually we don't need right, at here we need top. So or we can use 50 pixel. So from here to here, if we put 0 0, see. So this is the example of absolute. Now next one is fixed. Up next is fixed. This is like absolute, but instead of sticking to a parent, it stick to the viewport. So if you use position fixed, the element stay in place even when you scroll. Think of sticky header, floating button, or chat get in the corner. You scroll down the page, they stay where they are. It's a great way to keep important stuff visible at all time. Position fix. If we scrolling is not working, so for this I am using it's fixed. Okay. Position it's fixed, or okay, background color, if you want this come up, so we have to use sticky. See, but at here is Z indexing. So if we add Z index 1, it's come up, Z index 2, we can adjust this. This one, maybe 2, this one, this one. We can upward and backward according our requirement. So that's it. This is the great example for CSS positioning. Please practice it if you like it. And we can do one more thing, like suppose like this absolute inside the container, and this container border 5 pixel solid gray. Okay. And width 300 pixel or height 300 pixel, and position relative. Position relative, or if we change the position 0 and from left change. So it's inside the container. It's 192. Okay. So we can play with that. I added a margin, so that's why it's not maintain the space. This is it for today. Practice it, and thank you. Please like, subscribe, and press the bell icon.